I'm Michael.
And I'm Cherise. This channel is all about personal branding and finance.
Now, we're helping young professionals to improve every single day.
That's the Akinle way.
So if you want to get from here to here, we're going to help you get there. So make sure you subscribe.
And if you already knew all of that, welcome back.
And today, guys, we are going to be talking about saving.
Saving.
How to save. Going to essentially help you to understand how to save and why to save, right? Mm-hmm. This is more why to save that is so important. I feel like there's loads of YouTube content out there that tells you how to save, but why are you saving? It's really the important thing that we all need to really understand.
And that's probably the reason why people make the mistake of doing it for a little bit of a while and then they give up because they don't know why they're saving.
Exactly. So let's do it. You need to learn to pay yourself first, right? Which is a really interesting way of putting it.
It is.
Right? Because you're always getting paid from your employer, you get paid from your business or whatever, but you actually need to learn how to pay yourself. And the reason why you need to learn how to pay yourself is because at the end of the day, you need to keep yourself alive for as long as it's possible.
Well, what does that really mean though? So do you say saving is paying yourself first, or is it different?
I think it's a lifestyle.
Okay.
I think it's a lifestyle.
So like a habit that you do.
It's a habit, yeah. It's something that I think that should be a habit.
So what's an example?
Is every time I get paid for my salary, I pay myself first, maybe 20% of my salary.
Okay, but you don't pay it first.
Huh?
You don't pay that first
No,
though.
I don't, because I pay my tithe first.
So you say your own example.
Okay, so like when I get paid, I separate my tithe, which is the first thing that I do. Well, the first thing me and Cherise do. And then I'm next on the list.
Yes.
Right, so I pay myself.
So before you pay Asda for your groceries, before you pay EE for your phone bill, before you pay Direct Line for your car insurance, you pay yourself first. Is what's the word?
We're advising.
Yes, that's what we're trying to say.
That can be anything from about 10 to 20%, right? I think that's a reasonable place to start.
Yeah.
To start paying yourself, okay? I get into a habit of doing that, right? And I know sometimes it can be hard, but we're going to teach you how it can feel much better when you're paying yourself, right? And what I mean by that is throughout the conversation, I'll give you guys some tips about cutting down some of your expenses that you don't necessarily need, so that, when it comes to your salary coming in, you feel a lot better about paying yourself rather than feeling like you're a victim of your bills and stuff like that.
No, I can't do that. I can't save 10% or 20% or even more than that. Because some people say you should save at least 40% of what you're getting.
Yeah.
And if you can't live on the 60, then...
Yeah, it's a lot. I feel like people that have a lot of income can say that though.
Yeah. And I feel like that's the aim.
Exactly. So how can you pay yourself first is to cut out unnecessary expenses. So I don't know whether Cherise is going to do this, but I basically last Saturday I spent about an hour building a budget sheet, like a budget versus actuals sheet. And basically what that sheet is meant to record the budget that I allocate to everything in my life, like my living cost, my personal cost, my travel cost, my saving. Like it's meant to record all of that. What's the budget that I allocate to all of those things, and all of the subtopics under those main things, and what am I actually spending, right? So I would say, you guys, before you pay yourself first, actually you all need to go through an exercise of exorcism.
Exercise of exorcism.
Yes, you need to exercise yourself from as many unnecessary bills as you have. And what I mean by that, if you're there's nothing wrong with Uber, but those of you that like to go to the chicken shop and get Uber to get there, I know most of you don't do that, but I'm just saying it's an example. Like any little step outside your house, you get an Uber. To go down to the Asian man to get your grocery, you get Uber there. Anyway, my point is you go everywhere in an Uber, and if you actually calculate how much money you spend on Ubers, you will be shocked. Absolutely shocked, right? So look at your Uber expenses. So look at your travel costs. How much money are you spending on Ubers? How much money are you spending on fast food? How much money are you spending on fast food? I used to be a victim of this, but since lockdown that has changed dramatically.
Of course.
So when after lockdown, I'm going to learn to make more homemade food. Instead of spending £10 on average on fast food, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, right? So how much money are you spending on fast food? Look at that. How much money are you spending on subscriptions?
That's a big one.
Right?
That's a big one.
Netflix, Disney Plus. I cancelled my Disney Plus today. I had enough. I've not watched it in 7 days. I was like, this is adding no value to me whatsoever.
More than 7 days.
Well, more than I did the 7-day trial. I did the 7-day trial, and this is what happens to me, right? When I subscribe to something and I'm paying like £5 a month, the excuse to justify that is I am not going to feel this whatsoever, so I just let it carry on. But today, I just decided to exercise myself from all these kinds of subscriptions. Disney Plus is the first one to go. There was another thing, unfortunate, sorry babe. I bought it because of her, but we're not watching it, so it can go. I don't know, I might consider things like Netflix and Amazon Prime and like all the different subscriptions. Those of you that pay £20 a month, £25 a month, some people I know pay £100 a month to use the gym. If you're someone that, the gym is an expense for you, that at the end of the month, maybe you're someone that lives paycheck to paycheck, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute, and you see that your gym membership is squeezing you, why don't you find an alternative, right? Home workouts, buy a DVD. Mm-hmm. You're going to achieve the same thing.
Yeah.
It's either you want to lose weight or want to build muscle, turn up, there's a DVD for that, right? Buy a DVD, go out for a run. In fact, you know what? Sharice is always telling me to do, buy a cross trainer, buy a treadmill, buy a bike, put it in your house. It's £150 or something from Amazon. Compare that, a one-off fee, to £25 every single month for a whole year. And by the way, more than 1 year. You know what I mean? Like, find alternatives is all I'm saying. I don't have anything against the gym.
They have gyms in the park now.
Yes, absolutely.
It's really cool.
Use it.
I used to use that.
But I honestly, like, guys, the amount of money that I used to pay for when I used to live in London, and I used to go to a gym called LA Fitness, and I think it was something around £25 or £30 a month, right? I used to pay. It got to a point I was like, because my life got busier, I was running out of time. I couldn't go to the gym every day, and I wasn't gonna wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning to go to the gym. It was a really nice gym because there was like a swimming pool, there was a sauna. It was amazing. It was worth it. I was like, nah, this is just nah. And if I wanted to swim, because I like swimming, I would go to the local swimming pool near where I used to live, and it was maybe cost me like £1, £2, or something like that for swim. Yeah, per session. Like, but anyway, my point is to just cut out these expenses. And what kind of other expenses there? We've talked about subscriptions, we've talked about fast food, we've talked about Ubering everywhere.
And what about your phone bill? Are you paying
your
much
phone
for
bill?
your
Okay,
phone bill?
so I am a victim of my phone bill, but guess what, guys? I'm going to exercise myself when my contract runs out in August. So guys, I can't tell you exactly how much I pay on my phone bill because that is private and confidential information, but if I told you, you would probably scream. She would scream. She knows how much I pay my phone bill and she wants to scream. And
I've always wanted to scream. For as long as I've known you, that's almost 2 years.
I've been trying to get this down for as long as I can, but I'm gonna cut it down. I'm paying way too much for my phone bill, and the reason is I have 100 gig of data, right? Because I work from home now, I don't go out as much as I used to. I used to go out every day, right? And I'll be out and about, I won't get home till late at night, but I work from home all the time. Like, even before the lockdown, I was working from home. I'm working from home until the foreseeable future. So I have my Wi-Fi, which I'm also paying for, which is really, really good.
You mean your home broadband?
My home broadband, right? So why do I need 100 gig of data?
You don't.
I don't, because I'm not going out. So that's something that I look at and be like, this is something I can cut out, right? Everyone is different. You all have your different expenses, but review them. Look at your bank statement and just review it and say, okay, I can cut this out. I don't need it. It's a need to have. Just depends on your circumstance, right? So if you're earning a lot of money, in fact, it doesn't matter what your circumstance is. Just learn to be tighter on things, right?
Always compare the market.com for everything. Your car insurance, any other insurances that you have, any other subscriptions that you have, there's always another person that's gonna offer you the same service
for cheaper.
So look around, and as Michael was saying with this exercise of going through your reviewing, if you remember from the last video, he said that he was using the Numbers app. So we're always constantly reviewing so that we know what we're spending, we know what's coming out, we know where to cut. If we need to, or we're not using it, then you review it, and it's okay, you can just cancel it, or you can come back to it later on if you start to use it again. But it's always not putting yourself in, because we are creatures of habit and routine. We love that, to just do things without thinking about it. But when it comes to your monthly payments, your bills, your subscriptions, you do need to know like what's coming in every single month, and it will change, and it should change. It shouldn't be from year to year you're doing the same thing. You should change it.
Great. Thanks, babe. Next on my list is having a goal. Why are you saving? Okay, now I can preach.
That's right. Well,
So, guys, I am not a believer in saving without a purpose. You might be, and there's no problem with
what
that.
do you mean saving without a purpose?
Without a goal.
What do you define as... Okay, that's what I mean. What do you define as a goal?
It's something that you're working towards, and that's why you're saving. Some people save just for the sake of saving. Oh, I just want to have money. I just want to have money in the bank. I just want to have something I can come back to when I need it or whatever. That's not an emergency fund. Because
why is it not an emergency fund?
it's not an emergency.
If it's there when I'm in an emergency.
Yeah, but you're not saving for the purpose of an emergency. It's a different when you're putting money away to just say, oh, I just want to put money away because it's a habit, compared to, oh, you know what? There's a likelihood that I'm going to be facing an emergency soon.
But why is it not the same thing, and when will it become an issue?
Well, it depends, because I'm creating a sinking fund. So a sinking fund is an emergency fund. That's an emergency fund to basically, like, if I have like a car breakdown or something like that, or, you know, I run out of electricity one day or something like that. Like, there's a goal.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not just saving just to hope that one day there's going to be an emergency in my life. I run out of my budget for food and I need to tap into my emergency fund to just sort out my food, or something like this coronavirus. I lose my job. So it could be like, you could be saving because, you know, you want to prepare for, you know, unforeseeable circumstances where you do lose your job. So I might create a saving and say, okay, I hope I don't lose my job, but if I do lose my job, I have 3 to 6 months worth of coverage.
That makes sense. So it has to have
a reason.
Yeah, it has to have a name
like,
on
it
it.
can't just it can't just be like, oh, just putting money away, because then it's like your money needs to be working for you in one sense or the other. So if I'm putting money towards, you know, oh, one day if I do lose my job and I'm going to be looking for 2-3 months, that money I'm putting away is actually going to come back and work for me.
Okay, that makes sense. And because you know that reason, you're less likely to use it for any other reason.
Basically, do you understand what I mean?
Because I just thought it was for what I did previously was just save 10%, like, okay, give 10% tithe and then save 10%, and I had a standing order to send over. I said this in another video, didn't I? To send it over to another bank account, so I just didn't think about it, and I felt like that is saving. And then eventually I'll need it. I'll need it at some point, and I just use it for whatever I need it for. But then that's not really.
It's not really.
That's not really saving.
It's not really saving.
That's just.
You're just putting money somewhere. There's no purpose there, and it's just sitting there. Your money's not working for you, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know. So, for example, you can also judge, like, if there's a trend, like if your car's always breaking down, like there's a trend that can lead you to, like, say, okay, like, I need to put money away because this thing's gonna pay off me one day. Or, you know, you have a trend of, you know, you keep job, you can't keep a job for more than 6 months or more than a year. Then, you know, there are people like that. There's a trend. Like, you have to be really honest with yourself. You get what I mean? Like, you have to be genuinely honest with yourself. Like, there's some people that they just go from job to job. They don't actually look at the fact that I can't keep a job for more than 6 months. I can't keep a job for more than a year. You know, I'm usually unemployed for a period of 2 to 3 months. That could be because of the job market you're in or the industry you're in, right?
Or if you're like a freelancer or a
exactly.
contractor.
Or it might not even be because you feel like you're going to lose your job. It could be that between moving from one job to another, the search usually takes you a month or 2 months, and you might not have anything coming in. So that fund is something that you can always come back to. So my point is always saving. It's just always having a goal, right? Mm-hmm. So whether you're saving for a wedding like we were, whether you're saving for your house deposit, whether you're saving for a furniture, whether you're saving for a child if you're planning to have children, or you're saving for a new car, you get what I mean? So that saving has a goal. And the reason I'm telling you guys that you need to have a goal when you're saving is because there's nothing more unmotivating than when you don't have a goal.
That's a big one.
Like, for me personally anyway, I can speak for myself. If I don't have a personal saving goal, there are some months I'll put money in my savings, some months I won't. Because there's no goal.
Yeah, but then that's like most people, in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's why we're making this video today.
Even if you set up a standing order,
I can cancel it because there's no goal.
Yeah.
And you can go on your bank, you can cancel it. There's nothing saying to you, don't cancel it. So it's just basically training your mind. If I wasn't saving towards my house deposit, I might even still be saving, but I will be so tempted to take that money out. And why?
It's a lot of money. After a while, you
exactly.
look at it, oh,
and something
I'm really good.
And I guarantee you, babe, that something would have come up that would meant I would have wanted something really shiny, really, really shiny, and I would have dipped my money into my savings.
Dip your hand in.
Dip my hand. Sorry, not dip my money. Dip my hand into my savings and taken that out. You know what I mean? So that's the whole reason why I think if you're gonna save, have something you're saving towards, and you're gonna be a lot more disciplined with the amount you're gonna. Because when you're just saving for just saving's sake, you put any amount in there.
Yeah, mine was always only little. It was like £1, £2.
When you were broke. But
but I felt like I felt like even though I wasn't I was getting £10 a week. We'll get into that story.
By yourself. That's a personal video that I will not be in.
My tithe every week was £1, and I'd save £1 as well, and then I have £8 to spend on myself that week. But I'd usually make it accumulate until the end of the month, and then I'd pay my bills and my books and my stuff that I wanted to
do. It was just like, it's just really, really hard to discipline yourself when you don't have a goal, right? Because for me, if I don't have a goal, I would just put money in, put a certain amount of money in, one month, put a different amount next month, put a different amount the month after. There's no consistency. Why? Because there's no need. There's no motivation to get to a certain goal. Right now, one of my savings goals is to save 6 months of my salary. 6 months worth of my expenses. Not my salary, 6 months worth of my expenses. So that in any case where I'm out of a job for 6 months, I am covered. I'm good. Do you get what I mean? So that's one of my goals anyway, my personal goals. Another goal that we had was our wedding. So you guys get the point, right? I don't need to overextend myself on this. Have a goal when you're saving. And by the way, disclaimer, I didn't create this budget sheet out of my mind, right? I'm a big fan of Patricia Bright. She did a video on it, and she said, go buy it for £2. But then I was like, hold on a minute, I can make this myself. What am I going to pay £2 for? So I went on Google Sheets and I made it, and it looks exactly like hers. So she's someone I do like. I like a lot of her content. I came across that content of a budget sheet. If you want to go straight to her video go and get it.
Yeah, it was easier than just trying to work it all out by yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And you can pay £2 for hers, or you can give me these £2 and I can make it for you. Hey. No, I don't have time for that. A budget versus actual sheet, as I said earlier in the video, is you allocate a certain amount to a particular expense. You don't, that is your budget for that expense. So let's say on food every single month, you say, I'm not going to spend more than £100, right? Your actual is actually how much you spend. So your actual might be under £100, or your actual might be over £100, right? So that's what a budget versus actual sheet is, so that you can easily track whether you are under your budget or you are over your budget, and you can then, over a period of time, that you can then track what that looks like. Makes sense?
If you don't want Excel sheets, there's the old-fashioned way of having envelopes, and then you put aside money in those envelopes every single month. So you get your salary, and you have, this is when you used to get paid in cash and stuff. So then you take your money that you have for a specific thing, so like you have your clothing, and then you have your groceries and your bills and whatever, your subscriptions. On each envelope is what it is, and you put the money in there. So then when you've dipped into those envelopes to pay off everything, then you realise, okay, so I have this much left. I have £20 left in this one, I have £30 left in that one. They can carry over to another envelope, but once the envelope is finished, like it's empty, you can't spend again until next month. So that's a way. That's another
very old-fashioned way.
Yeah, it's very. But some people really don't like sheets.
Fair enough.
They need to see it tangibly.
I'll be very honest with you guys. I think a Google sheet, Excel sheet is very intimidating.
Yeah.
You know, and you might not like that. And you might want a more physical way to manage your money. But I think, I wouldn't do an envelope. And my last point is to get paid for your saving. We've talked about paying yourself, but actually, did you know that you can get paid for your savings too? So there's certain banks that have certain type of accounts that when you put money in there, you get interest, and you get paid interest on that. I have a savings account. It's not nicer. Now when I put money in, I get some interest on it. Okay, we're going to talk about like investments like later down the line, but I don't think I'm going to talk about anything that I haven't done and it's worked, because if you want to know what kind of account that is, all you need to do is call your bank and say, hey, I want to open a savings account that I get paid interest on.
The money that I've put in.
The money that I've put in. I get paid on interest on the money that I've put in. So let's say hopefully if you put in £1, they're giving you an extra 15p or something like that, right? So your money is actually incrementally growing. Is there anything else on saving?
The cash apps, the saving apps.
Yes, you can use apps as well.
Once you pay for something, it will save the difference. So like it will always round it up. So okay, so can you run these?
Okay.
So like this is give me a number that's not a whole number.
£1.
No, that's a whole number.
£1.50.
No, that's still a whole number. Okay, so this is ATP, right? And then to make it £1, it will save 20p. Does that make sense?
If it makes sense to you.
Okay. Yeah, this is ATP. So you spend ATP, but because you could have spent £1 on it, they've put the 20p away. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'll link some apps that do that, and they'll explain it to you in a much better way. But that's basically what it does. It rounds up the money for you. So like you go to chicken and chip shop, and then it was like the meal was like £4.70. It will save 30p for you in your savings account because it's all linked up.
Yeah.
And you would have saved 30p on that.
So let's summarize.
Wait, before you go to the running through, discounts and
coupons, discounts, Groupon. Oh,
and cashback.
Thank you. High five. Completely forgot about that. So guys, basically, I'll be really honest. A lot of things in my house I didn't buy in full price. I bought on Groupon. Groupon is my friend. Voucher is my friend.
Any kind of discount, deal, coupon, cashback, your friend. That is how to save. That is how to not be spending.
I love getting things on sale.
Yeah.
Like, I used to be so proud. My mom used to get it on sale, I know. Like, why do I get things on sale? It means I don't have money for it. It means I'm poor. No, that was immaturity. I literally, everything I do, I'll go to Poundland. If I can get something for £1 compared to £3, I will do it. Right? Because even if I have the resources to it, it doesn't mean that I should just go do it. Like, there are times I can be a little bit frivolous. You get what I mean? But and also I don't buy a lot. I'm very minimalist. I don't buy a lot of clothes. I don't buy a lot of shoes. Really, I just don't, because there's no need.
Yeah, because that's not saving. That's spending. You feel like sometimes on a sale, you feel 75% off, but you're
still spending
35.
Yeah, 25. You mean
25.
They're there.
So you're actually spending the difference that they tell you that you're saving. You're actually not saving that.
Essentially, you're still going into your bank account and paying money for something that you might not need, right? So let's summarize. 1, pay yourself first. Okay, it's the first thing. When you receive your salary, make sure you put some money aside, but think of it as paying yourself first. 10 to 20% of your salary when you pay yourself first. Cut out unnecessary expenses, cut out the Ubers, cut out the fast food, make homemade food, meal preps. Next thing is having a goal. While you're saving, always have that in your mind. Why am I saving? Make a budget versus actual sheet. If Cherise can put a link to that. And Patricia, if you're watching this, I want a commission. Thank you. And getting paid for savings and discounts. Look at discounts, look at a Groupon, look at voucher, and all that good stuff. Yeah? So I hope that was helpful, guys. As always, from the Akinle way, thanks for watching. And subscribe, comment, and like, share.
And share.
Bye, guys. Take care.